We are the Hollywood Paranormal Detectives.
Oh, welcome to the Upside Down. Here we go. Thinking Cap is on tonight. HPD Live. How are you doing? It's 8 o'clock. It's Wednesday night. Where are you at? You're sitting in front of your computer doing nothing, wanting to hear some ghost stories from the best in the business, and that's exactly what we give you every single week. We are on a gravy train with biscuit wheels, and we have been hitting home runs. I don't even know what I'm saying. But started out, he's waiting. He's ready. My main man, Bri.
Hello.
Oh, Bri, how are you today, sir?
I'm awesome.
Brian, you are looking awesome, and the beard is looking awesome. I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Well, if anybody's watching, let me know if I should keep the beard.
And Brian, this is sort of a throwback to us, Stranger Things Cap. Me and Brian worked on the Demogorgon for Stranger Things Season 1, right?
Yes, we did.
We both had hands on it, saw it before the film hit it. It always feels good. Let's bring her in. She's shaking her mitts, ready to go. She's losing it. Here she is, Mandy Maisie.
Let me in.
Let me in.
God
My
damn it.
skeleton hand.
I'm just sitting here waiting patiently.
How are you, Mandy?
I'm good. How
Your
are you
hair
guys?
is looking fantastic.
That sun.
Your eyeliner is looking
Thank you.
spooky.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
And you know what? Let's take a break from this side and let's take a step over to the haunted side. And let's bring in our guest this week from the haunted side. Here's Patrick.
Oh, stop.
Yeah.
What's up? By the way, a few things. First off, gravy train with biscuit wheels. I want that shirt. First off, where's that on your merch store? Brian, yes, keep the beard. And Mandy, I'm saying on fleek with the.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
See? Boom. Done and
Now-
done.
Now,
Yeah.
like
At the
we
screen
mentioned,
going, what is Mandy doing here?
Hey.
You're way too pretty for the rest of us. That's for sure.
She's out of this world.
Oh, shit. Done.
Stop.
Bye, guys. Bye.
see ya. I mean, I just remove her, just drop her out. Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah. Oh my God. I don't know. It's like weird.
We already
the
chatted
signal.
about it a little bit, but we go back to when you guys were just cutting your teeth, right?
Oh, dude, like I was like just starting out and I was like, okay, what's popular on YouTube? Because I saw a bunch of stuff on YouTube and I was just like, man, there's a void for like something, but I don't know what it is yet. Like I wanted to see what was gonna like what like our niche was gonna be. And at that time I had been ghost hunting for like ever, dude. I started ghost hunting when I was like 8 years old.
Yeah.
And so just a ton of time. And so I was like, man, I'm gonna make a video about like how to start out, because a lot of people are like, oh, I really want to do that, but they don't know how, and they think you have to have $1,000 SLS cameras and like these crazy night vision cameras and like this whole
Yeah.
setup, and you really don't. You need yourself and your phone and a friend that's as crazy as you to go stand around in the dark talking to yourself for several hours.
And you can build an SLS camera for about $150.
Exactly, right? Can you go to Goodwill? Can you find an Xbox Connect camera? You're halfway there.
Halfway there.
But you were making that video on like what does it take to be a ghost hunter, and I remember you asked me, how did you find us? Like, what were you just like, these guys look cool, or?
Well, I mean, obviously you look cool. You guys had the suits on, you had the ties on, and I could
That's what
respect
I used
that.
to. I used to wear the suit and tie because I was
Yeah,
trying to be very official.
Yeah, I could respect that. First off, I was like, a man in a suit, he knows what he's doing. You know what I'm saying?
I was almost
then-
trying to intimidate the spirits. Like, oh, the guy in the clipboard's here. We got to
like
everything.
like,
he
oh
said.
my God, why do we keep getting this EVP that says Dapper? I don't understand this. This is bizarre.
Thank you.
But no, I was just looking around and you guys just happened to catch my eye because you were just like, you were cool. And you guys looked like cool dudes. Somebody that I'd be like, if I didn't know you and you were like out and like drinking and just having a good time or whatever, I'd be like, hell yeah, let's party. Let's hang out.
These
Let's
guys are
chill.
down.
So, exactly. You look like cool people.
we've
And I like
lost
cool
Boom, our
people.
party animal.
Yeah, we had a genuine like heavy metal drumming rock star, and he's in the Ukraine, rocking out.
Actually, he's in Bulgaria now.
Oh, he's in Bulgaria now.
He got out of Ukraine. He managed to get out of Ukraine.
Good for him.
Damn.
You didn't get the email updates. It was long, arduous journey out of Ukraine.
Oh, I did not see those.
Man. I see Tarnia is in the chat. Tarnia, what's up, girl?
I'm missing the chat. Whisper Soul's here. Tarnia. Hello,
Whisper
Tarnia.
Soul too. Oh, damn.
Hi, Whisper Soul. Cool
Good to see
dudes. That
y'all.
is right.
The coolest.
And it was cool. I like that. I've always said the best thing people have to practice is talking.
Yeah.
Because a shy person goes into a room and they're like, "Can you talk into my recorder?" It's not the same. Than someone loud and clear practicing your questioning. And that was sort of my thing.
Which is hilarious because it's such a double-edged sword, because you get those people and they comment all the time because it's YouTube, right? You're going to get the haters. But they're like, "Oh my God, I wish Patrick would shut up. We can't hear anything that's happening." And I'm like, so you want me to just walk around in the dark, quiet? That's boring. If even if you caught like the best piece of evidence ever, nobody would ever see it because they wouldn't watch the video long enough to even see what you captured. You have to be a little bit animated and like, full of energy, right? Plus, hello guys, we're not usually going from like noon to 6, right? Or like 9 to 5. Like this is like after hour stuff, right? Like we don't even begin investigations.
That's why I built the Steven puppet.
Exactly. Like think about what most people are doing from
here, and I'm 100% in control.
Yeah, there you go, puppet master. But think about what most people are doing from midnight to 6 a.m. They're sleeping like normal people, not us. We're up burning both ends of the candle, looking for unexplained stuff and trying to put it on YouTube for people to watch for free.
And I definitely do the same thing. Just I like the mic drop. Just like if you're on stage, how you can't just stay center stage. You have to explore stage left, explore stage right. Or I always compare it to, remember skateboard competitions? You got to hit every ramp once. You know, you got to make sure, because you never know where they are hiding or they are quietly sitting. The spirits.
Did you know that I'm a musician as well?
I think I knew that.
Yeah, I was a lead singer, songwriter, guitarist, piano, drums, but I was signed to Universal Records back in like 2008. I did 3 albums on Universal, toured all over the world playing music.
Who were you with?
It was the band called The Holding.
Okay.
Very cool.
We toured with like Train and Matchbox 20 and Switchfoot and all those kind of bands. We were like
alternative rock. Throwback.
I had my old neighbor at one of my apartments. He was a really amazing guitarist, and he had a contract with like Sony, and he was always out, and I'm like, "Where you going?" He's like, "I got to do 3 months with Wilson Phillips." Where you going? I'm doing some country thing, but they would just sort of send him. He was so good, they could send him anywhere and just put him with any band, and he could play. And then he ended up playing when what's the Bon Jovi lead guitarist? That's the second.
I don't remember. I know who you're talking about, but I don't remember his name.
But he was out, and he ended up playing for Bon Jovi for like 6 months. And it was just like sticking the guy everywhere because they got that contract.
Bro, that was like my whole band. I tried to build like a super band around me because as a musician, I wanted to be the weakest link in the band, right? Like I wanted the best drummer ever. I wanted the best guitar players because I was good, right? Like I was good enough. I could hold my own, but like I wanted to be like in awe of the band. And that's exactly our drummer played for Billy Ray Cyrus. He played for Sam Hunt, like all those guys. The guitar player plays for Sam Hunt and Tyler Rich and all these big country acts, Billy Ray and all that stuff. And it was like now come on home. We're going on tour.
Thank you, Tim. Richie Sambora. That's
shout out to Dad.
Yeah. Thanks, Mandy's dad.
Oh snap! We got December in the chat too. Quit it, girl.
Hello. So you say you've been ghost hunting since you were like 8 years old. How did that all start? What was your first experience, and what's the first time you like picked up the recorder and said, let's find some shit.
I was about to say, can I curse? Because when I was like,
Hell yeah.
there's some weird ass shit in this world that can't be explained. So I grew up in Texas.
Woo.
Born and
Nice.
raised in Texas. And when I was 8 years old, my parents moved me and my two brothers out to this farmhouse about an hour outside of Dallas in Josephine, Texas. I was only 8, so I didn't realize it at the time. But thinking back now, the house looked like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre house.
No.
Like it really did. And I obviously 8 years old, I didn't make that correlation, but it totally did. But it doesn't stop there. It was super creepy house. There were when we were moving in, my mom found these like altars with like not just like pentagrams, because people do like pentagrams and they're like, oh my god, it's so evil. These weren't pentagrams. These were like pentacles, and they had like the conjuring and binding
Like
symbols around them and stuff. Like this was some weird stuff. And come to find out, my mom did a little research, and the house was actually used as a satanic church back in the 1960s.
That's why you got the deal.
Yeah, so there was
Right
there was a congregation of Satan that lived and worshipped in this house. So if you're a believer in the paranormal or the supernatural, when you're asking for that kind of stuff to manifest, even if you believe or don't believe, whatever, just saying that over and over and over and over again. It's like, you remember watching The Secret? You want a Ferrari, just keep saying you already have one, right? I feel like something there tilted. You know what I mean? Like something was off about that house.
How long after learning it was a satanic church did you stay?
3 months.
And
she found out only after about a month and a half. So really it was only about maybe 6 to 8 weeks, and we were out of there because things started happening. So we would hear noises and creaks. It's a farmhouse that was built in the 60s, right? Obviously it's going to creak. That didn't scare us. But then I started hearing, because it was a 2-story house, and the bedrooms, except for my parents' bedroom, was downstairs, but all of our bedrooms were upstairs. And I would hear in the attic like heel toe sounding steps, like
No, thank
and,
you.
Yeah, exactly, right. And I'm 8 years old, right? I'm not me now. I'm 8-year-old me. So I'm like, ah! But like I would hear them come, and here's the creepiest part: they would stop directly above me. So I'm laying in bed, looking up, and I hear like doom 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 doom. And I'm just like, oh God, what is going on here? And me being, I was a boy growing up in Texas. So obviously if it was a raccoon or a possum or any kind of animal, I would know what that sounds like. I would go up to the attic. I would get it out of there and be moving on, right? And I went up to the attic, and I would search, and I would find, or I would try to find like traces of animals, or like how would they get in, like what, and
droppings or holes.
Exactly,
or
right?
Like
Yeah, scratches, stuff like that. Could never find anything. That's not where it stops. You ready? This was my first experience.
I'm ready.
I was laying in bed. I was like sleeping. This is like middle of the night, and then all of a sudden, I just feel somebody just like, boom, like sit down on the edge of my bed. And I have 2 brothers, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, it has to be one of them, right? Open my eyes, doing the whole 8-year-old. And there's, you like that? That's my 8-year-old. 8-year-old Patrick. And there's this shadowy thing. And if people talk about like darker than dark, I don't think you really understand what that means until you see it, because this thing was darker than dark, but I could still see through it, but it was still like a perfect outline of like a silhouette kind of person sitting on the edge of the bed. Thank God it wasn't staring at me, because I don't know if I'd be here right now, but it was staring at the wall. So it was looking over. And the creepiest part is I could see like a depression in the blanket where it looked like whatever was there had weight.
Wow.
But I could see through it. And I was like, no. 8-year-old me, nope.
Nope.
Down the stairs, out of there. But ever since that moment, I was like, okay, look, I don't know what the hell that was. Like, I don't know if like, is it angels and demons? Is it just negative energy, positive energy?
Yeah.
What is it? Nobody really knows. 100% for sure, right? Some
Right.
people have faith, some people have ideas, theories. I mean, we talk about stone tape theory, all that kind of stuff, but nobody knows for certain, at least nobody on this side, right? And so I was like, okay, I'm in. I was like, I'm in. And ever since then, I was like, I have to like see that again. Like I want that rush again. And talking about musicians, sorry, I'm long-winded. I apologize.
Oh, it's great.
But being a musician, I was getting to travel, and I was going to a lot of places that I wouldn't just normally go to. Right, random places in Ohio, random places in upstate New York, random places all over the country and world even. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna be close to Kansas, like Atchison, Kansas. I'm going to the Sally House, right? And just imagine this conversation with the rest of the band, right? Like I'm like, guys, I rented out this house where supposedly there was all kinds of this illegal medical procedures being done, and I'm gonna spend the whole night there. And they're like, yeah, have fun. We're gonna be at the Hilton or like at this bar that these people are telling us to go to. You go enjoy your devil house, And I'm like, yay! But I was getting to travel around and check out all these cool places, which ironically is where the Haunted Side name came from, because this was back 2010, 11, something like that. And I had, you guys remember the MySpace days? And you had those pink like Nikon, the cool pics camera.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
And you had to get those MySpace angles, and you had to be in the mirror, like in the bathroom, and you're like the duck lips. So I had one of those cameras. I had a K2 meter and a digital recorder, and I was taking a bunch of pictures, and I was like taking little videos and everything, because I think it was like a 2 gig memory card, maybe, or 1 gig memory card back then. You know what I'm talking about? But the pictures were like 480. They were still square, videos and stuff. But I didn't have like a hard drive to store this stuff. So I'd make a slideshow of all the pictures I took and upload it to YouTube. And I'd take all those videos I took and I'd upload it to YouTube, but it was just on private. Like it was just a storage.
Just to hold it, yeah.
Yeah, it was just like a storage thing. And guess what? It was the haunted side of the tours. So the haunted side of all the touring that I was getting to do. And when
Okay.
see, quit it. But then I moved to Nevada, and I realized that I was like 30 minutes away from Virginia City. And I was like, and this was about 2.5, 3 years ago. And I was like, man, I've been wanting to do like a series, not series necessarily, but I wanted to go and like film stuff and like put stuff out and like start editing it and start, putting something together something that I thought was cool. Right. Something I thought YouTube was missing. And the rest is kind of history. I started putting stuff up, and it just,
that sort of sounds like I was that same way. I thought like ghost hunting shows aren't showing what I want to see. And I felt like there was a void. And I was like, I want to show what I want to see. And that's exactly kind of why we started, like, because I was in so many ghost hunting groups, and the big thing was no one ever wanted to edit. No one ever wanted to edit. Like, well, who's going to edit all that? And I felt like no one ever reviewed their evidence. Like, you tell me you put a recorder on a table, press record at 6 o'clock, turn it off at midnight, and the next day at noon, I got nothing. You listen to that whole thing.
You listen to every
I don't think you even had time
of that.
Like, you listen to that whole thing. I don't think anyone reviewed their evidence. Just in all these little crappy groups. And then finally, like, Brian joined the group I was in, and that group kind of broke apart. And I'm like, let's just do it. Let's film everything. Let's just present it as a documentary, because that's what better way to show your evidence than showing the building, telling the story, showing the room. Boom.
Wearing a suit. I mean, you just
wearing a suit. If anybody's missing the suit, let me know.
We should never have abandoned the look, Stephen.
Well, my whole thing was
suit, me in my deputy shirt.
I wanted it to be like, if you call 911 and say, I've got a ghost in my house, well, we'll direct you to Hollywood Paranormal Detectives. Like, who would they direct you to? Someone who's very official. They have to come out and like write everything down. So I was almost trying to be like a legal side of ghost hunting look. I kept everything on my clipboard and
Bro,
like
it worked, man.
went
I
through
remember.
my info.
I remember.
But it just sort of it deteriorated into more just naturally.
Well,
us.
I saw it. Like the tie got a little looser.
Yeah.
And that
Sleeves-
top button
Sleeves
wins.
would roll up.
And the sleeves would roll up.
Yeah.
And then next thing you were in board shorts. I was like, what the hell happened?
I feel like though no one said they loved the suit, and I felt like it wasn't a niche that had shot us to the top.
Bro.
So and the groups I saw going to the top were
I
more
love the
relaxed and more fun, you know.
I absolutely love the suit, man.
Oh, so I might bring the suit back and like a
I mean,
slow-mo
I'll wear a
walk.
suit. I'll do it.
Like what this
Bro,
investigation?
power suit, like the pantsuit?
Yes,
Stop it.
yes.
Oh
I'll do
my
like-
Give me a
God.
pantsuit.
I'll wear a chicken suit and claim I thought it was a costume party.
I'll do something one day when it's like for this investigation, since we've been here before, we had to go back to our roots, and I'll like
Yeah.
I would certainly like to do another costume.
Highway to
Throw on the
the
costume.
There you go, there you go.
days of-
I am
Do the
right.
slow-mo walk and just
Wearing a
like
costume
put an
for a while.
explosion behind
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian, how did we not dress you as a prisoner?
Because they told us we weren't allowed to wear anything.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Regular clothes so that we wouldn't get confused with escaped prisoners from the other prison.
We have a great question here from one of our number one fans, Whisper Soul.
Whisper
Do you feel the
Soul.
house is responsible for your abilities because you're a magnet? She says.
I've been told that my whole life. People say I'm a magnet for all that. You know, if you
Mhm.
believe in just being people, some people just having that like beacon of light. that
Yeah.
people, you know what? Hold on. Stranger Things reference. I'm like a gate. There's a gate,
Oh.
and things just kind of like try to come through. Possibly, I don't know. Maybe it has to do with that house. I have no idea. Here's the thing: I want to go back to that house and I want to film there. And we thought that it got torn down. My mom searched for it and she couldn't find it. She found it recently. My mom was literally like Google mapping like Street View, and she was
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna find this thing. And she ended up, she called me too. I was like late. It was like 2 a.m. She's like, I found it. I was like, what the hell did you find? She's like, I found the house. And I was like, oh my God. And it was for sale too. It was for sale.
Oh,
Oh.
of course, because no one wants to live in a satanic church.
Imagine that. It was cool, but I want to go back. I definitely want to go back there.
So now you're on tour. You're starting to upload your videos. You've moved to Virginia City. And what was the first location the haunted side as a team tackled?
So I started off with just myself. So I didn't know anybody in Nevada, but I knew that there was a ton of really cool places: Washoe Club, Silver Queen. There all kinds of. It's just like there's a treasure trove of a cornucopia of haunted locations.
If you will.
The first orgasm.
Yeah.
Let me get my thesaurus here.
You're like,
A virtual buffet.
and so I did what any ghost hunter that's new to an area does. You search on YouTube for people who have investigated in wherever you're at, and you find out where they've been, and you get in touch with them and see if it's their grandpa's place or how they got in there, and you try to work it out. I got lucky because one of the most known places in Reno is this place called the Haunted Rob Canyon, and so I just went out there. I had a spirit box, I had a camera, and I had a dream.
Those outdoors locations that you.
This
yeah.
was an outdoor location, yes.
I love those. Some people hate them. I love that, like, you know, it's that freebie outside, like kind of raw experience.
Well, what it is people don't like editing, like you said, and having audio that has wind noise and things that you have to put time in to make sound better.
Yeah.
People don't like putting in the extra work. Oh, what do you know? You think things just get handed to you? Oh my God. But yeah, I went out there. It was a blast. I did the rookie mistake of just playing stupid, creepy sounding music behind the whole episode, right? And you you get ripped apart. Why are you putting music behind everything? I can't hear anything. So I was
Ghost
like,
Adventures does it.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, fine, sorry, never again. But that was the trick. It's like that was the first video, and they always say that's the hardest one to do is that first
Yes.
video.
Mhm.
And I was like, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it horribly. I'm gonna do it so wrong. I can't even watch those videos anymore. They're so cringy. But
I would put our first one that's like 58 minutes. I bet I could make it 12.
yeah, yeah, exactly. But I started that, and then I started networking, and because dude, life is networking. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys know this. You live in, or I assume you live in Hollywood.
Yes, sir.
I
Yes, sir.
assume you guys are in the Southern California area.
We are in the pit of it. We are in
Yeah.
Hollywood.
So life is who you know. It's just that simple. It really is. And so I started networking, and I started reaching out to people, and I started talking to people. And it was never, and this is kind of the key, is like my mom taught me this too. Don't be the person that just comes in and is like, take, right? So I wasn't like, hey, my name's Patrick, I'm looking for places to investigate. No, I started off with, hey, my name's Patrick, I'm new here, and I would like to help you out. Is there anything I can do? I went to film school. I'm proficient in all of that kind of stuff. I can be up all night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can bring coffee. Do you guys like coffee? I assume you like coffee. Can I bring coffee and donuts or whatever to an investigation and just meet you guys? And what do you know? You get a hell of a lot more bees with honey than you do with salt, right?
But you get a lot of flies with shit. That's for sure.
So true. But I started reaching out to people and seeing, and most people are like, no, screw off, you're dumb, blah blah blah. But Northern Nevada Ghost Hunters were like, we'd love to have you out. Come out to one of our tours, because they do tours in Virginia City and a lot of stuff, and they're in really well with the Comstock Foundation. They raise a lot of money for Comstock Foundation, and they were like, absolutely, we'd love to have you out. And I went and just smoozed the hell out of them. I was like, hey, just trying to be over the top and be cool and hang out and help and do whatever I could and work as hard as I could. And then guess what? They said, Patrick, would you like to film at the Donovan Mill? We've never let anybody film there. We've never let anybody go in with cameras or anything like that. They've only done the tours that you can walk through or whatever. And it's more at dusk. It's not like an overnight thing. And I was like, absolutely, I would love to. You know what? In fact, it would be my pleasure. and what do you know? Donovan Mill, we caught some awesome evidence. I don't know if you guys remember, if you saw it, but it's the one where the chair that was next to me looked like somebody kicked it, like
I kind of
jumped off
remember
of it
that.
and kicked it. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
the one. It was the one that Nuke's Top 5. It was our very first feature on Nuke's Top 5.
Nice.
Yeah, it was the one that he was like, "Hey man, came across your videos, think that's really freaking cool." Nuke's Top 5 featured it. Then it was like Chills, Slapped Ham, Sir
In this
Sleuth.
video, a guy sits in a chair. The chair seems to. I love that guy.
Yeah, it's so cool. And then like Paranormal caught on camera, started emailing us, "Hey, can we use it?" So it was the one that like just kind of like helped just kind of push us to like a pretty big audience. And so but yeah, it was just because I was just like, ghost hunting Nevada. Oh, okay, Northern Nevada Ghost Hunters.
You were thirsty for it, and you had that energy,
Yeah, and I was like, what can I do? Not what can they do for me, because that's not how I think. I was like, what can I do for them? Because I went and I was like a guest investigator for their tours, and I would lead people around, and I'd bring the gear that I have, and I'd let them all use it. You know what I mean? So it was like, they were like, oh, this is fantastic. Like, he's great. Yeah. Now let's see. Oh, let's get him into this place. Let's get him into that place. And it's not like I went in there trying to be like, oh, where can I get into? No, I was just trying to be a good person and saying,
you wanted to just be in the
I just wanted to,
of that town and stuff.
I just wanted to ghost hunt, and I didn't have access to anything. And I was like, well, maybe I could just be friends with these people, and I'll be able to just go into these places. And it just grew from there. And yeah, it's pretty fantastic.
Well, and it's also our I guess I'd call it an industry, the ghost hunting world. There's different levels of people that take it serious, and there's people that are kind of spectators. I'll even compare it to Mandy.
I did this. I was gonna say I did the same shit with Steven.
Yeah, well, Mandy
Like,
would
hi.
message me and say,
Do you need anything?
if you ever
Water,
need help.
coffee.
But it was kind of the same thing. She didn't just message once. She messaged twice. She would comment on videos. And then watching her Instagram, she started doing EVP sessions in places. She started traveling by herself. You know, she was showing me through what she did and through constantly offering assistance that she took it serious and was ready to like move forward, as opposed to just so many people. I want to go one day. I like ghosts, like, and then never talk to you again. You know, Mandy, you did it. You Fight Club. You sat outside without encouragement for 5 days. We let you in.
It's so embarrassing too. I was like,
no.
So desperate.
His name is Robert Paulson.
That's right. And I felt like I got to know you, and I felt like, you know, you proved that you were into it. So brought you in.
And that's the other thing too, is finding those groups of people that you do click with, because just like in anything that you do, whether it's work or family or whatever, you're gonna have those people that you just don't gel with. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But you need to be that person that just is big enough to be like, you know what? This isn't working. Or maybe like you're really, really good with, like, say, EVPs, but they already have that person that's really good with EVPs and they feel like they're getting encroached on. Well, that's fine. Just take a step back and go find something else. Find somebody that just loves video editing, and you just can go in and do your spirit box sessions and your EVPs and you're good to go. And they do all the editing stuff, you know?
I mean, Brian's the builder. He builds everything. And I never stop talking. And Mandy's a medium and a very thorough investigator, which I've never seen many mediums that also like to use the equipment and like kind of play both sides. So she definitely balances me and Brian pretty well after losing our boom to traveling. So you're in Virginia City. Now you've got you're getting into some spots. So of all the spots you've been, what would you say is the most haunted location you've been to so far? Or somewhere you would never go back? I would never go back.
Oh, dude, there's never a place I would never go back. If things, yeah, dude, if the whole house split in half and I got thrown a mile out of the ceiling, I would go back the next night. Granted, I could walk, I would be back in there the next night. There's the level of activity, the higher it goes, the more anxious I am, right?
Yeah. I always tell Brian the poltergeist ending is our goal, where we're in front and the building is swirling into a vortex. Oh, that was great. That's
like I'm totally in.
So what's the most haunted?
I just want to see something move. I want to see something move by itself. I have not seen that yet in person.
Oh man, it's quite exhilarating.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had tons of interactions with things via spirit box or meter or all kinds of things, even audible stuff, but I have not seen anything move by itself yet.
You will, man. Keep putting yourself in those situations. Yeah. So we did I mean, dude, we've done so many places. Now we've been very, very blessed and very, very lucky to have just an amazing support system and just amazing fans and amazing people, friends and family and everybody that really believe in the show. So we've been able to do a lot of traveling. And the one that really stands out as being like probably one of the most active, if not haunted or whatever you want to say, locations, is in Williamsburg, West Virginia. And it's a place called the Old Hospital on College Hill.
Oh,
and I've heard about this.
Yeah, when you drive into the city is like walled off. It looks like a zombie apocalypse. You have to go over a bridge into this wall, and then once you get behind it, you're in the city. And there's like this little town built on the edge of the Appalachian Mountains, and at the very top of in the center of town, built on top of this mountain, on the side of the mountain, is this old 4-story hospital that goes all the way down, and it's like the basement is like the kids ward, which why would you put the kids in the basement? That's so wrong.
The kids under the stairs.
It's
Exactly, but it looks out like it's not really a basement per se, because the side that's facing kind of the city has windows that look out over the entire city, but you're still like in the basement of the building. It's so weird. But that location was so active. So much stuff happened. We were doing an EVP session in the basement, and Jason felt a hand on his shoulder, like felt somebody just do this, and he has kids. He has 4 or 5 kids, and he said it felt like his like 6-7-year-old just kind of put their hand on his shoulder.
Ooh.
And he freaked out, ran forward, lost his balance, fell, threw a camera, threw everything in his hands, rolled across, like sprained his ankle, hurt his knee. It was bad. I was like, oh my God. I was like, what the hell happened? And he's like, something touched me. So he runs outside. I have to grab the gear, go outside. I'm still filming, right? Because I'm like, oh, this is great. You know, and I like run outside. I'm like, what's going on, Jason? What the hell happened? And he's like, dude, I don't do ghost kids. I don't do ghost kids. That scares me. I don't do ghost kids. I don't like that. But he's like, I feel like there was a child spirit or something that touched me there. Fast forward to kind of the end of that investigation, the finale, if you will. And I'm standing in front of Jason filming this, like he's kind of, it's like a weird spot. It's like the end of a hallway. But there's like a door right here, and then Jason's right here. So door, wall, Jason right here, and then like another wall right here that came out this way. Sorry, that's hard to do with the anyway, left. Okay. And so he's sitting there, I'm filming him, and a child's crutch comes out of the darkness from this door and hits him on the shoulder. And I'm standing here like this, and I'm just like, what the? And he's like, ah, because he was doing sensory deprivation. So he had blindfold on.
Oh, he didn't even know.
No.
Spirit box in his hand, and he's like, male voice. I can't make it out. And he freaked out. And I'm sitting here the whole time, like probably 8 to 10 feet away from him and where that door is when it happened. And he like rips off the thing. He's screaming. He's like, what the hell? And I'm like, dude. Because, you know, that's our vocabulary when something happens. It's just dude.
We all grew up with Wayne's World, Bill and Ted, and
like we can't help it, guys.
Like
we can't help it, guys. We're ghost hunters, okay? We can't articulate anything other than just dude in that moment. Dude. And I'm like, bro, that came out of the darkness. The craziest part too is that when you go through that door, it's like it was like a kind of like a waiting room area. Mm-hmm. But there's no other door to get in there. So it's like this just empty room back there. And we immediately, what the hell is in there? And there's just nothing. Yeah. It's just this empty room. But a crutch came out of it and hit him on the shoulder.
That's amazing. So you talk about you doing the sensory deprivation. Yep. What are techniques you like? What equipment do you like? What do you not like? How do you do it?
We like everything, dude. I'm kind of in that boat of like, look, we're experimenting with everything. It's never been proven 100% that a K2 meter works, that a spirit box works, that an SLS camera works, that digital recorders work. Like nobody has just been like, this is it. This is the pinnacle of ghost hunting gear. If you want to speak to a ghost, it's right here. It hasn't been done. So we like to just use literally everything. Prototype stuff, laser grids that have temperature sensing in it. I don't care. Send me whatever you want, and I'm going to put everything in the most haunted locations, and I'm going to walk around. And when I hear something, or I feel something, or I see something, and something that we have does something, and I'm like, I saw something over there, and that thing's lighting up. Boom. That's weird. Right? Mm-hmm. That is, by definition, paranormal. It is above the normal. I see something, and you guys know sometimes Cameras don't catch things that we see sometimes. And here's the other thing.
Mhm.
We don't know where things are going to happen. Right. So I'm not
Yeah.
like, okay, I've got my camera right here because I know something is happening right here.
Yeah.
You know, like you just never know where things are going to happen. And so, but if you have gear and you have equipment and you have things that will alarm or make noises or light up or something like that, it's just going to help shift your focus over and say, okay, something weird is happening over there. Let's spend a little bit more time there. Because also, guys, keep in mind, like when you watch an episode on YouTube, and this, I mean, speaking for the haunted side, obviously, you're watching like 30, 45 minutes, maybe an hour of the best stuff that happened during that 16 hours or maybe 2 nights or a week of being there.
Oh yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's like watching the entire football game versus watching the Sports Center highlights. You know what I mean? And you're watching the highlights, right? Like that's what a lot of people I think kind of forget.
There are parts of the football game where they just sit on the field for like 6 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Talking to themselves.
They just all sit there. That's the worst. When
Can you move something?
You have great investigation like techniques with no evidence. And you're like, oh, I gotta cut it. I don't care how good that promo about this room was.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
or like you go, I remember what was the theater we went to, Brian? That the sewing room was supposed to be the most haunted. Pasadena Playhouse.
Nothing.
We went to the sewing room, and the sewing room was perfectly quiet. It was pitch black. It was perfect conditions. We did about 2 hours, 2 different nights. Not one bit of evidence either night.
Yeah.
But we got shit all over that place other than the sewing room.
Yeah.
They didn't have a bathroom? Oh, wait. Okay, never mind.
We just
It's
smeared
one
on the walls.
My favorite episodes because we got so much good stuff.
I'm so proud of that one.
Oh, snap. Hold up, guys. New reality is in the house.
Yeah.
Speaking of Hospital on College Hill, there's the new reality in the house. Cody and Sean, you guys know them, right?
Yeah, we just had them on. We're sort of going through.
I'm sorry to hear that, but
we're kind of going through our PEX guests and getting everybody on. That's kind of why we started this. Like all the people you see on Instagram, and you click like and you say awesome and you comment and you do everything you can to help them. Like trying to put some voices and faces to those logos and get to know everybody.
Yeah, fantastic.
And it's been really fun.
And also, I see Crow of Judas in the house. Are you guys familiar with the old Crow of Judas?
Crow
of Judas, bro. Crow of Judas, the man, the myth, the legend, right there. And Dan Tex is in the house. Dan Tex, what's up, bro?
I know Dan Tex from last week. What's up?
I'm not too far away from you, Dan Tex. I'm in Oregon right now. Oh, and I told you guys, but I'll tell them. Like, sorry, my backgrounds are normally a little bit nicer than this, but I'm on location. I'm on location.
Oh, where are you guys going?
So I'm in Oregon right now. I am at a I'll be honest, it's a golf resort, and I also play a lot of golf, so no big deal. But they have a separate building that's an old restaurant, bar, grill. It has meeting space. It has a really creepy basement, and it has an attic. Well, not really an attic. It's an upstairs that has. They used to do prostitution up there, so there's prostitution rooms and stuff up there. But it has a ton of just haunted history, and it's closed right now. So they closed it about 2 years ago, and it has not reopened. And it's had issues where they had huge leaks in the roof and things like that. So they're trying to renovate it right now. But they're doing renovations right now. And you guys know sometimes when you start messing with things and moving walls around,
they don't like it.
If there's energy there, it kind of ramps up. But our good friend Dan is the general manager out here. And he was like, hey man, I've been in there. I went down to find some chairs and stuff, and things were getting thrown at me. I was hearing things run away from me. And he's I had to unlock that door with the only key on the property right now to that door. I unlocked it, went in there, and there was nobody in there but me. He's like, I promise you there's nobody in there but me. But he was hearing things get thrown and smashed and like all kinds of stuff when he was walking around in there. Wow. So he was like, hey man, do you want to come up and play some golf and and investigate this crazy haunted place? And I was like, I'm in. Say no more.
So you're hitting that place now. What are some places on your bucket list? What are some locations you've never gotten to that are just dream spots?
Pavelia Island. I've been trying to go there. We almost had it in April of 2020. However, April of 2020, there was not much traveling going on.
No, you would have had to swim there, but
and you didn't really want to go to Italy back then either. Things were very bad. So we didn't get to do that. A lot of places in the UK. What the heck is it? It's the it's a castle in Ireland. That's like
Loftus Hall.
Loftus Hall. That one. We had that one, and we had a bunch of other ones lined up for like a whole month-long trip that we were going to be doing out there. The Ancient Ram Inn was on that list. Like there was a bunch of really cool stuff, and I was like, yeah. And then the universe was like, no. So it all got kind of pushed back and postponed and whatnot. But you know, we kept grinding along, and we so what we actually did, which was really cool, is that Virginia City is very much supported by tourism. It's like 90%, 95% tourists. That's what helps keep those buildings there and alive. Mackey Mansion, Washoe Club, Silver Queen, Cobb Mansion, Piper's Opera House, all those places, they rely so heavily on people going up there. For the last couple of years, people were not really going much of anywhere. So at the beginning of all that, we started reaching out to these places, and we're like, hey, how about we come in and we do like a 12-hour live stream, or we film an episode, or we do something and help bring in some
get people talking about it again.
And bring the thing is that we would get super chats and donations during the live streams and stuff, and we donated all of that and gear and everything else to these locations. Like the Mackey Mansion is a great example. They needed it was like $4,000 worth of plumbing done on the house. And so we were like, let's do a 12-hour live stream. Let's go crazy. Whatever needs to happen, let's see what we can do.
That's a great idea.
Exactly, right? And we that's kind of where the whole the PEX, the paranormal experience, kind of stemmed from, because we started doing like these virtual investigations. So people would pay like $10 or $20 or whatever. And we do kind of like this. We do like a little StreamYard live stream with them and walk them around. It was like, okay, so what piece of gear do you want us to use now? And they're like, ooh, grab the K2 meter and go over here. And we would walk around and do that. But the best part is that we got to donate that money to the locations that were suffering because they didn't have people coming up and visiting up there. And then we did places like the Cobb Mansion, which wasn't even known. Like nobody even knew what the Cobb Mansion was. You know what Silver Queen is, right? Yeah. Everybody knows the Silver Queen. The Cobb Mansion is owned by the same lady, super nice lady. She's wonderful. But she owns it, and it's like literally like right behind it. It's like a block up behind the Silver Queen. And it's just bed and breakfast. By the way, it's probably the best breakfast I've ever had in my life. Oh my God. Connie, I don't know if you're watching this, but you are fantastic. She hand makes you like biscuits and gravy from scratch on like a cast iron skillet. Like she does like homemade scones. Dude, it was literally like the best breakfast I've ever had in my life. But she had this bed and breakfast that was empty. I'm talking nobody on the books for like the whole year. Oh no. And we said, and she's and I was like, well, is it active? Like, is there like don't?
It's in Virginia City, of course.
I'm from Texas. I'm not going to turn down a free meal first off, but I'm like, is it active? Have you seen things, heard things, and people reported things? And she goes, oh yeah, all the time, because we do our research, and I looked on because it's on not Airbnb, but like one of those sites where you can review the places that you stay. And it was like Cobb Mansion. Oh, I had a great night's sleep, 5 stars, very peaceful, all that kind of stuff. And I was like, hold on a second. I don't know how many places, like if you sleep inside the Sally house, you're not going to be like, I had a great night.
Lovely evening.
Yeah, just a wonderful time here. The Clean Water Demon House, 5 stars. The food was great. But I asked her, I was like, well, is it active? And she goes, yeah. She goes, most people stay in the middle floor in like the suite. It's like a big presidential suite. And she goes, that room doesn't have that much activity, but the upstairs where her office is, and they have like little smaller rooms for like kids and stuff, is active. And we actually caught, this is on video too, we caught a book come flying out of a shelf.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Like static camera just in the back, filming as much as it can. And this book just goes and like smash onto the ground. We were like, oh my God. But yeah, we went up there and we did the episode, and I think it's like the number 2 or 3 most watched video on the Haunted Sides channel. And so, I mean, hundreds of thousands of views, and she booked out for like 2 years.
Oh, good.
Awesome.
Like it brought a enormous amount of business in for her, which is awesome. That was kind of the goal there. Anything we can do to kind of help out and show a little bit more love for the places that are like, oh yeah, come in and investigate. Absolutely.
And in the social media world, like haunted tourism kind of thing is a bigger deal than it used to be. Like, because now you can show that you're experiencing this. I know a lot of people that are not investigators, but travel with a K2 and a recorder and, stay at a lot of little hotels and just sort of casually go places. Oh my God.
They're like, ooh.
Yeah.
Can you light this up?
Now you're going to be at PEX, right?
I am. I mean, it just so happens to only be about, 45 minutes away from my house. So I guess I'll show up.
That's the jam. You're right there. Okay.
That'll be fun.
What are you looking forward to at PEX?
Meeting y'all. Meeting everybody. Yeah, meeting you guys in particular. Absolutely. But it's the social aspect of it. And see, that's the thing, man. And it drives me crazy because I've saw in the music industry the kind of like the drama that can surround things. And it's, I mean, let's be real. I mean, no matter what you do in life, wherever you work, there's always going to be something like that.
And even with more success comes more.
Oh God, we got a little bit of that going on right now. It's crazy. It's like, oh man, the channel's starting to be successful and being self-sufficient. Let's hate it. I'm like,
oh no.
Okay, cool. Bye. But like, man, it's, I don't know, dude. It's just crazy. Like, I want to like, because anybody that knows me, like really knows me, I'm like one of the most generous people you'll ever meet. Like I'll be like, dude, you're here for PEX, you're here for paranormal experience. Okay, we've got Washoe Club, we've got this place, but you want to stick around a day or 2 extra? Let me take you to the Clean Water Demon House, even though I can't. They got torn down, which really sucks. But Truckee River Murder House, let's go. The Shadow House, let's go. Like I want to do, like we talked about earlier, I want to give. I want to try to help people out. If there's new people getting into it, literally the first video, one of the first videos I made and asked you to be on 3 years ago was how can somebody do this without having to spend thousands of dollars on gear? Mm-hmm. You don't need to have your body, have a digital recorder, which you can get for like $20, $30, and a K2 meter, maybe, if you want, you know what I mean? But that was always my goal, is to just get out, do it. And then like the people that I wanted to kind of associate with and bring on the show and do that kind of stuff, they just started to come around, right? Yeah. Because people with the same goals and the same aspirations and the same dreams and this is the killer, the same drive. That's what I find is kind of the hardest thing in this world. No matter what you do, is to find those people. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Find those people that not just meet your level of ambition and like just pure desire to do something, but exceed it. Like we talked about with the band, dude. I wanted to be the weakest link. You know what I mean? I wanted to be the one, even though I promise you'll be very hard pressed to find somebody that will work as hard as me because I will bust my butt constantly, right? But that's what it's all about, dude. Surround yourself with those people. Surround yourself. Find those people that push you to get better, be better than what you were a year ago. You have to. You have to.
Yes.
You gotta have goals.
That's great.
You gotta have the goals, and you gotta move forward. Like
exactly.
Like,
hold on, let me turn off my teleprompter. No, I'm just kidding.
I was watching something with a psychologist saying to give 100% effort and not move forward is psychologically destroying. Like you can't. You have to move forward. Yeah. And I'm with you 100%. Like I have so many people like, when do you have time to do all that? Oh, I get up at 4 and do it before work, and then after work, after I put my kids to bed, I go back and I edit some more. What?
Exactly.
Well, when do you sleep? What's sleep?
What the hell is sleep? Yeah, exactly, dude. Like if you
never do that.
If you want something, you'll find the time to do it. Like you remember like when you started dating that like new person or like that new girl or that new guy or whatever. And you're like, man, like, oh, like she's 8 hours away. I'm gonna drive 8 hours. And that 8 hours was like perfect.
I'm gonna drive 7 hours and then call it.
Exactly. Like, I don't care what has to happen. I am going to go and see that person. That's the kind of drive you have to have with whatever you're doing. You have to be willing to go not just 8 hours, sometimes 3 years, 10 years, 20 years.
It's a romance. Longer. It's your romance with your craft or with your passion.
Exactly. And I know this is cliche. I'll get a little cliche, but success really isn't a destination. It's the journey. I mean, it really is though. Like it really is. You're never going to get to that point where you're like, I've done it. That's it. Pat drop. I don't need to do it anymore. Because if you do get to that point, then your drive is gone. You need to constantly, when you get to where you need to be, you need to figure out how to get to the next spot that you didn't even know was on the map. And you're like, oh crap, how are we going to do this now? And here's the thing. When you start to level that up, guess what starts to happen? You get those people coming around that are like, oh my God, I hate all of this. And Cat Williams, genius, said, if you got 50 haters, you need to figure out how to get 75 haters before the end of the summer. I'm paraphrasing. It was something to that effect, though.
I think he said motherfucker in there about 3 times.
Yeah.
You got 50 motherfucking haters. You better get 70 motherfucking haters by the end of the week.
Exactly. And that's so true. And you know, it happened in the band days. And I remember those people that just, no matter what happened, you know, they were just like, ew, I hate that band. They're so gross. Their singer is terrible. And I was like, okay, I don't give a shit. You can like my voice or not. I'm not making music to please you. Yeah. I'm making music because I love to do it. And inside of my soul, it helps me as a person express things that I can't do normally, right? Same thing with doing this. I love this show. I love making the haunted side. I do all of the editing. I do all the cinematography. I'll do all the drone shots, B-roll shots.
And you guys are very well produced. You're one of the few shows that doesn't just like start in a black and white room. I watched you guys a lot and very jealous at how clean your shots look and how good everything looks. Wow. I know we edit a lot and do a lot of B-roll and a lot of editing. Yeah. We're very heavily edited compared to a lot, but you guys look TV quality, and I respect that. And
that was kind of the Go ahead.
With haters comes like they probably respect you and they're jealous of how clean your show is.
It's the jealousy, man. The jealousy just rings so true. Yeah. And I'm like, gotcha. You know what I mean? Like, because here's the thing. When I do something, and I'm not just talking about the haunted side. When I do anything, excuse my French, I fucking do it. Like, I'm not the person who half-asses anything, bro. I can't. Like, it is physically not in my nature to just be like, meh.
I'll try it.
Yeah.
Meh. And I'm talking like, I don't care. Dude, I just found out recently that cornhole, you guys know what cornhole is, right? We throw the fucking bag through the hole. I didn't know that shit got serious, right? I thought like you just drink and you just have fun and you throw it and you never know what's gonna happen. I didn't even know how to keep score or that you kept score. I thought it was just you had 8 beers doing that. You win, bro. I had like fucking 2 Jack Daniels. You win. But I found out recently because my neighbor plays and he plays in a league, and I was like, bro, I'm playing.
They have leagues? Are you kidding?
I was watching some on TV the other day.
Yup, it's on ESPN.
Yeah.
Not ESPN 2, 3, 4, the Ocho. No, ESPN. Period.
Fuck.
But like I started playing just like a few months ago, and dude, like now I'm like I learned how to throw the bag. I learned like different moves. I didn't know there were fucking moves.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
But you know what I mean? Like no matter what it is I do, I'm gonna give it 100% always. And that's what I wanted to do with the haunted side, and why, like, because I mean, you guys are great. Your show is great. The editing, like you said, it is edited. It's very well put together. And I wanted to do the same thing. And I was like, okay, look, the people who are gonna watch this, like, I want them to just look at this and just go, damn. Even if we don't capture that much activity, because let's be real, guys. I mean, not every place is going to be a 10 on the scale of activity, right? But it can still be fun. It can still be interesting. It can still be something that's entertaining to watch, right? That's on us. That's on us as the person who does the editing.
I always tell them to
build that story.
Every episode has a story.
Yeah.
And whether it involves evidence or not, you're still telling the story. You're still starting at the beginning and telling the location and telling what happened and telling our journey into this location. And whether we catch anything or not is irrelevant, but it's about the story of us interacting with the spot, you know?
Yep. 100%. Oh, and Sass is in the chat too. Sass, sorry, I didn't see you. Sass, she said, as an avid THS supporter and mod, she has a mod on her channel. She has a wrench. I can say hand on heart, Patrick is a very genuine person and produces the sum of the best paranormal viewing on YouTube. Oh, Sass, stop it.
Yeah, your shots are so clean and smooth. I'm still rugged. I do my slow pans by hand. You know,
nice. You haven't graduated to the slider yet.
Every time I almost do it, I go, you know what? I don't have time. I go, I'll lose
more
so much
stuff to carry.
Yeah, I'm so excited when I get there, like a little kid on Christmas, that usually I'm just like pan run, like pan run. I'm like having to stop myself.
We got it.
Yeah, like one quick pan run, one quick pan next room.
Dude, here's the thing though, dude, I've been stopped so much going through like TSA because guys, ghost hunting gear going through that
no one knows what that
does
is.
Not look right. I'm just gonna leave it there. They're like, sir.
What is
this?
this?
And they're like, what the is this? And there's like wires hanging off and like 9-volt batteries duct taped or like Velcro to the side, and they're like, sir, you got some splaining to do. And I'm like, that's an SLS camera. That's a GS2. They're like, what? And I'm like, ghost hunting. And they're like, oh, okay. But the slider, bro, oh my God. Because the slider that we
looks
use
like
is
a machine gun.
Yeah, right. It's like 38 inches, right? Guys, grab your suitcase. It's about 36 inches, 35, 36 inches, the standard suitcase. So it doesn't fit. I know this because I've tried. And I've like painstakingly tried to like stretch it out and get it to just sit in a suitcase so I can check it, right? No, I hollowed out one of my old acoustic guitar cases, and I put the slider in the guitar case, and then I go, and dude, when you have a guitar case in the airport, you're like a celebrity, bro. Like immediately they're like, oh my God, please come sit up here. You want one of these big comfy chairs in first class? Here's your eucalyptus towel, sir. Have a seat. I'll bring you your Pinot Grigio in two minutes. I'm like, thank you. And they're like, oh, let me take your instrument. I'll make sure to put it in the captain's closet right here next to his wardrobe. It really does work. And the whole time I'm like, it's a slider. Just open it up. They'll be like, oh, can you play that for us? No, sorry, I got really bad carpal tunnel on this flight. I can't play anything.
I've gone into looked into renting a bunch of stuff and looked into some big jib arms and then I always just at the end go, I can do it with my hand. I can do it with my hand. I'll just do it. You know.
That's what she said.
Oh,
Say that.
I
Damn
almost said it. I'm surprised Brian didn't.
That's what I said.
That's
I'll
what the
just go with
14-year-old us said.
So we're running out of time. What's the future hold? What's the goal for the next 5 years? What's your plans?
Oh man,
What's the next step?
No matter what, I'm always going to try to keep pushing forward. I love this. Even if I wasn't doing the haunted side for YouTube, like for the show, for the series, I would still be doing this stuff, right? Like it's something that's just so much of a passion for me. I just got very, very lucky, very, very blessed to be around such amazing people that have helped share the channel and grow the channel. That now we get to do cooler things in bigger places. And my heart's out to all, I mean, everybody watching this. Guys, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe to the channel, Hollywood Paranormal Detectives. Make sure you hit that like button, share this video everywhere. And dude, I'm sorry, I was going to share this, but I was not connected to the Wi-Fi here at the resort. And so I was like, oh crap. And literally I like connected to Wi-Fi and I got like all your messages because I was like, hey, I'm ready when you are, because I didn't have any of the links or anything. And I was like, are we still doing this? And then it like just was like do. And I was like, oh shit, everything's in there. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'll be in there. But I'm gonna share this as soon as this is over. I'll share it out on all of our stuff. And put it up there. But Crow Judah said you gotta stretch it to make it fit. I was talking about the slide. Never mind. Crow. But yeah, the future, man, it's just keep on pushing forward, keep on moving forward, bigger locations, better locations, just keep the people who watch the show, the fans, the friends, the family, y'all deserve the best. Y'all deserve to get that escape from whatever it is. There's a reason why you're looking up paranormal stuff on YouTube. Maybe you are bored at work. Maybe you're bored at home. There's a reason why, right? Like there's a reason that I'm on YouTube being like, how do you hit your driver straighter? How do I get 320K? You know what I mean? Like there's a reason why you're there. And I don't take that for granted. And I genuinely believe that y'all deserve the best. And a lot of people want to see what the inside of Alcatraz looks like. They want to see what the inside of the Winchester Mystery House looks like, which we've done. We did an overnight at Winchester. It was fantastic. I want to go back.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Oh, so much fun.
Take me with you. Take me with you.
Anytime. Just say the word. Because I'm only 4 hours from Bay in Reno.
Okay.
And y'all are only what, like 7 hours, 8 hours?
Yeah, we're just down there.
Let's go. But you know what I mean? Like
we meet up there in 5.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. That's a good answer. You said 7.
My brother lived in San Francisco. I could be there in 5.
Oh, let's go. But you know what I mean? Like that's kind of the big thing, is that the people out there, and keep in mind too, like a lot of people that don't live in the States, that can't just be like, ooh, I'm like haunted stuff. I want to go to the Sally House. I want to go to Waverly Hills. I want to go to these places. Like people in Australia, they couldn't do that. They can't just like on a whim be like, let's go to America, right? So they look for that to be an escape, to see what it's like, to envision themselves there, which I think is why I really liked your guys' stuff, because like you said, it's documentary style, right? It's raw, it's there, it's in your face, it's just cameras walking around. It's not like the reality show where they cut to us in like a dark room with like a light right here, and we're like, I was very scared walking through. You know what I mean? Like it's just there. And I think that's what really helped the haunted side grow, is that people, and even in the beginning, they would comment that they're like, Patrick, I love this because I feel like I'm there with you. Like, I feel like I'm exploring these houses and these buildings and these hospitals and wherever we're at. I feel like I'm exploring it with you. And so, that's my goal, is to just continue to do that. To continue to surround myself with people that have that drive. Shout out to Pex. We'll see you guys there. and just, you know what, in 100 years, we're not going to be here. None of this is going to matter, right?
Yeah.
So who
Yeah.
cares? Let's go have some fun. Let's film cool shit and have a good time, right? We're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time.
That's right.
I feel like you're like a motivational speaker, and I just want to put you in my pocket. And
I did just like you're
So
saying.
good.
I think of when I was a high school kid in Alabama, and I'm in Alabama. I'm
Bama.
never gonna be in the Queen Mary. I'm never gonna be in Alcatraz. Just those locations were celebrities to me,
Mm-hmm.
and to watch, put in Goldfield and to watch all these different groups go through Goldfield
Yep.
is just so cool to watch these people that got to visit the celebrities,
Well, but then that me growing up in Texas, I was thinking like, oh my God, Sloss Furnace. Oh my
Yes.
God, the old Bryce Hospital.
always in Sloss Furnace.
Like Tuscaloosa. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Sure.
I was thinking
Yeah.
about these places in Alabama, right?
Yeah.
It's like that no matter where you go, right? And so that's I think is the coolest part about like the YouTube platform is just the reach that you have to just hit so many people. And then they start being like, oh, dude, have you heard about this? Have you seen this place? Have you gone here? And I'm like, no, but hold on. And I go to YouTube and I type in, like, that's how we found the old Bryce Hospital. Cody and Sean, they were just like, dude, we found this abandoned hospital in Alabama, and we were going to be around Birmingham. So we're going to be at Sloss.
That's right.
And oh, hell yeah. Oh, dude. What's the barbecue place there? Is it called Saws? Have you been there?
Jim and Nick's is a big one.
That one's good.
There's a lot of barbecue in Alabama, so
dude. Oh, the barbecue, man. The barbecue life is real. But yeah, so we just type in like, how do we get there? Where do we find this place? What's other places around here that are known? And yeah, YouTube is fantastic, man.
We were talking about that an episode ago where it's like you've never heard of a location, someone says it, you Google it, and then this world opens up. Like there's 1,000 videos from it, and I've never heard of it. Like
and then you go down some like 8-hour YouTube rabbit hole, and like it's like 6 a.m. and you're learning to speak giraffe. You know what I mean? You're just like, what the hell happened?
If I get in a YouTube hole, I always end up watching trains hit things. I don't know how that's where I end up.
I end up
watching trains hit stuff, and then I know I'm done. When I'm on trains, I'm done.
Bro, I will like put something on and then end up watching these guys from the UK. They're golfers. They're like pro golfers. His name's Mark Crossfield, and it's just him and his buddies. There's like 4 guys, and they just go out and they're like these English dudes that just talk shit to each other while they're playing golf, and it's so funny because one dude will like shank one over there, and they're all like, ah! They like play like the sad music, and he's like walking over there with his hands in his pocket, looking for his ball, and he's like, "Oh, he's a lovely boy, isn't he? Look at his lovely pins." And he's like talking about his leg. I'm like, "Oh God!" And then I'm like, "It's 7 o'clock in the morning." Like,
well, Patrick, thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Thank you.
Oh no, thank you guys. My pleasure.
Thank you
Anytime.
for producing good quality work and giving other people starting out like a standard to look at. Like this is quality. This is genuine. People work hard. This is what you got to do.
Yeah, I know we're probably super over on time, but real quick, that is probably the best compliment I think I've ever had from anybody is when they tell me, dude, watching you inspired me to start doing this or to start doing this again. Or maybe they don't want to do it, but to start watching it again. Yeah. They were like, dude, I gave up on YouTube paranormal stuff. And then I happened to find you. And it was like a breath of fresh air. And I'm like,
yeah.
Stop.
And we've kind of taken that sacrifice. Like, I know we don't have big numbers, and it's because we don't produce a lot of stuff very quick. Me and Brian work really hard in the effects industry, and full-time dad, full-time husband. So it's
full-time
like
dad, not husband.
But it's like, and I would rather spend 3 months on putting out a quality show than just throw everything out there as quick as possible. Take the sacrifice to get the quality. I always thought,
which is tough because the Haunted Side for the last 2 years or so, we've released a new episode every single Friday, which is
Wow.
very, very, very hard to do.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking like 10-minute videos, 15-minute videos.
Oh, I
dude.
know.
There's never been a video that was less than like 35 minutes, 32 minutes, maybe.
Yeah.
But usually it's like 45 minutes to an hour every single week without fail. And then we do 2 live streams a week, kind of like this. We'll do like a podcast kind of live stream thing. And then if I'm at a place or if I have the ability to, I'll do some kind of like live investigation if I can while I'm out there. Because content's king, man.
Thank you, Whisper Soul. You're always our number one.
Woohoo, Whisper Soul.
Anything we ever post, she is the first to click like, and it's within seconds. And first to comment, first to buy a t-shirt. She's number one fan.
Hell yeah.
She's got the crown for life.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Patrick, for doing what you're doing. And we cannot wait to party with you in Virginia City, sir.
Oh, you're going to be drinking all kinds of haunted sides. That's the name of the drink. It's called the haunted side. And
Get
it's
ready,
pretty
Mandy and
fantastic.
Brian.
Stop.
It's going to go down. It's going to go down real
We'll have to
smooth.
keep HPD.
All right. We'll let you get some sleep now. Enjoy your investigation.
Oh, yeah. Whew, I'm supposed to do that.
Yeah. All right. Good night, brother.
Good night, y'all.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
What a great guy.
That was great.
Good positive energy. And I want to play something for everyone watching so they know what's coming up. The wait is over. The time has come. HPD PEX 2022 Virginia City Paracon, September 16th and 17th. Have you always wanted to investigate with Hollywood paranormal detectives? Well, now is your opportunity. Come to PEX 2020 in Virginia City and get to investigate with us. And not just us. Patty Negri, The Haunted Side, Natalie Jones, The New Reality, Ghost Club Paranormal, and live interviews from the Dead Hours. Tickets are on sale now. Follow the link tree in our bio to let them know you got your tickets from HPD. We will also have exclusive t-shirts and merchandise in our Teespring for this event. We cannot wait to see you in Virginia City. That's right, everybody. We're going to be there. They're all going to be there. Anything left, guys? Anything left?
No, that's it.
What a show.
That was
what
great.
a night. And Mandy, do you want to say it?
Good night, Mandy.
You're supposed to say goodnight, Brian.
Say good night, Brian.
Good night, Brian.